Hello, everybody. Welcome to the article for Strand. This article is going over, obviously, Strand, which came alongside the trailer for Strand. You can watch this on your own time. It's really just showing off the abilities and whatnot for Strand, which is kind of neat. So we're going to get right into it. We're skipping around a little bit because a lot of it is just like concepts and like what they wanted to do or their inspirations and stuff like that. So getting right into it, talking about the definitions or the verbs to understand Strand. Let's first start out with some vocabulary. Creating an object using Strand is weaving. Defeating an enemy affected by Strand will unravel them, disconnecting their life force from the weave and creating a tangle. Left behind after a Strand debuffed enemy is defeated, a tangle is a swirling bundle of Strand fibers. These bundles of Strand explode when shot, causing area damage for nearby enemies. Guardians can also pick up tangles and throw them to deadly effect. So it's kind of like a stasis crystal, but you can also pick it up. So on the debuff side, there are three new terms, which are suspend, unravel, and sever. Suspend in PvE, an enemy is lifted off the ground for a brief duration and is essentially disabled. I cannot read. In PvP, suspended players are lifted off the ground, but can still move and fire their gun. So this is basically like being slowed from stasis, but in the air, basically. Unravel, attacking an unraveled target will cause threads to burst out of the target and attack the other nearby targets, and once hit, these targets will also become unraveled. Very good for ad clear, it looks like. Sever, a severed enemy is less capable of affecting the material world, reducing their damage output as a result. So that, mixed with woven mail, which is the next thing, with this ability, the Guardian is sheathed in a protective mesh of Strand Mather, reducing incoming damage. That's going to be a lot of damage resistance if you can sever things, like a lot. Though in PvP, this only reduces the damage taken to the body, with headshot damage and melee damage just being normal. Getting on to the Warlock, this bit here before then is talking about the grapple grenade, which is basically just being like Spider-Man, and you can perform a grapple melee, which does extra damage. So the Brood Weaver for the Warlock here is kind of the summoner class, the way they describe it here. So the big thing is threadlings. So you have two strand aspects. Weaver's Call. On Riftcast, the Warlock weaves 3 threadling eggs, which hatch into threadlings when they hit a surface, and any perched threadlings are converted to additional eggs. Perched threadlings are kind of like Void Souls or Arc Souls. A Mind Spun Invocation. This aspect improves several of the Warlock's abilities. So Grapple, when you execute a grapple melee, the Warlock weaves 3 additional eggs. Excuse me. The Grenade, you can consume your grenade to generate a full bit of perched threadlings. So I think it's 3. Shackle Grenade, you can consume your Shackle Grenade to gain a buff, creating a suspending detonation on every kill. So that seems once again kind of like freezing a target where they go up in the air and they can't shoot back. So that's going to be pretty interesting. The Warlock's telekinetic abilities accumulate with their super Needle Storm, a deadly combination of burst damage and area denial. On cast, the Warlock conjures Strand Matter into a fusillade of hardened spikes, launching them forwards with a wave of their hand. The missiles will stick into enemies and the environment alike before detonating and reweaving themselves into an army of threadlings that will hunt down any survivors. So, the Hunter, Thread Runner. While every Strand Guardian class will have access to the grapple and an array of mobility options it brings, the Hunter takes movement and speed to an entirely new level. From attacking multiple enemies at once while in midair to using a new rope dart weapon that benefits from maximum agility, it's no wonder that playing the Thread Runner will be compared to a thrill of watching a superhero come to life. Okay, the Thread Runner's melee attack, the Threaded Spike, has the Hunter hurling out a rope that bounces between enemies, damaging and severing them before returning to the Hunter. Upon its return, it grants melee energy for each enemy hit. Hunters can also catch the rope dart by pressing the melee input button at the right time. Perfecting that timing will earn the player an additional amount of melee energy. That's pretty cool. So there are two aspects. Ensnaring slam. While in the air, press the air movement input to slam downwards, suspending all nearby enemies. So it's kind of like Shadow Dive or the Void version of that. Whatever that's called. Widow's Silk. This aspect grants an additional grenade charge. The hunter's grapple ability creates a persistent grapple tangle when it latches, which fully refunds the grenade energy when grappled onto. Hunters can also use this ability to set up chains of grapple points that their entire team can use, greatly enhancing their ability to quickly move around in combat or traverse the environment. Wow. That sounds awesome. I might actually swap from Warlock to Hunter, even though Warlock looks like it's going to be the better class. The lethal combination of grapple and rope dart converge into the Threadrunner's super Silk Strike. When activated, the Hunter uses their grapple to freely move through the world in third-person view, while also throwing the rope dart to strike down enemies. Hunters will be able to use grapple more often during the super, and the rope dart features have both a light and heavy attack. The light attack is meant for single opponents and can be used in the air and on the ground. While on the ground, hunters can also chain attacks seamlessly. Hitting an enemy with the tip of the dart deals bonus damage. Wow, we have tippers inside of Destiny. And defeating an enemy with it causes the enemy to explode. The heavy attack has the hunter swing the rope dart around in a 360-degree arc, damaging all nearby enemies. As with the light attack, this can also be used in the ground or in the air. So the Titan Berserker, the hulking mass of a guardian stands before a squad of enemies, ignoring their paltry taunts. Without warning, gigantic blades made of tightly woven strand matter surround her hands, and she leaps into the fray, powerful blades whirling in fury. The Titan's powerful woven gauntlets slice through the scores of her foes, and the enemies of humanity tremble. Okay, from the start, the fantasy for a Strand-wielding type Berserker was wild, untamed power. As the subclass name suggests, the Titan uses Strand in ways that ensure maximum carnage with your in-your-face attacks that can sever enemies en masse before they are permanently deleted. Okay, the Titan Strelay? Wow. The Titan Strand Melee, combine those words, abilities, Frenzied Blade. Well, a press of the melee button, the Titan dashes forward and slashes at enemies with their strand arm blades, severing victims and decreasing their damage output. Okay, so that's okay. With a default set of 3 charges, wow, Titans can chain these slashes together for maximum offensive power. So, a pair of aspects into the fray. Destroying tangle weaves woven mail into the Titan and nearby allies. In addition to reducing damage taken, this aspect also increases the Titan's melee energy regeneration while we're wearing woven mail. The other one, when the Titan casts their class ability, the Titan will blast forward a powerful ripple in reality, suspending enemies that are caught in the shockwave's path. So when you put up your barricade, you basically get Capri's Sting for free. Or, Capri's Horn, not Capri's Sting. The Titan's melee super ability, the Blade Fury, sees the Titan dual-wielding fist blades and roaming the battlefield with ill intent. The super light attack is a supercharged version of the Frenzy's Blade melee attack, and each light attack that connects increases the next target's speed. Okay. Which tops out at 3. In addition, connecting with light attacks also build energy for the super's heavy attack with each hit. The heavy attack, the Titan hurls a pair of projectiles forward that sticks out enemies, suspending and damaging them on impact. Elsewhere, Strand will see 3 new grenades, so this is just everyone. Strand will see 3 new grenades, including Grapple, which is controlled with the grenade button. The Threadling grenade splits into 3 projectiles that weave into Threadlings upon impact, which, once again, Warlocks can take more advantage of, because if it doesn't get a kill, it will go back to the Warlock and be like an Arc Soul. The Shackle grenade effectively acts as a bola. Oh, that's cool. Detonating in a suspending blast and sending out smaller secondary bolas to suspend nearby enemies. Finally, it wouldn't be a new elemental power in Destiny 2 without new fragments to explore and customize your Strand wielding Guardian. Okay, so we have 4 new Strand fragments, which are the starting ones. Thread of Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your weapon, your equipped weapon, and grants increased weapon handling and airborne effectiveness for a short time. Definitely a PvE or a PvP one. The reloading kind of seems interesting, but it definitely looks like hunters are going to be really good for PvP with this class. Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with a tangle grants melee energy. Thread of Finality. Finishers generate thread lanes, and Thread of Warding. Picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. So yeah, that's really it for that. It looks pretty good. I'm a little concerned. Titans seem kind of meh. Hunters, I'm conflicted because it looks like hunters in terms of mobility are just going to be absolutely crazy, but that seems more of a PvP thing, which I don't really play, but I'll give it a try anyway in PvE. Warlocks look pretty good for ad clear. Like, I feel like they're just going to be destroying everything. Obviously, we're going to get new aspects of fragments in the following seasons, as well as more exotic, so that will obviously flesh it out. They did confirm there are more than just the 3 exotics they showed us, so hopefully, especially for hunters, they get some sort of PvE oriented Strand thing, which I hope they do. We are just going to watch this at the end here, but this is me signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited. There's going to be a lot more Destiny content to come, so I hope you guys enjoy and stick around for that. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Strand flows through you as it flows through everything. Now is the time to lean into using Strand, not back away from it. Embrace where the current takes you.